Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a truly special story for you, one that reminds us where real treasure is found. It's called The Greedy Painter. Once upon a time, nestled in a vibrant little town, there lived a young painter named Luca. Now, Luca was incredibly talented. His brushstrokes could capture the very soul of a sunset, and his portraits felt like they could step right out of the canvas. Everyone in town admired his art, but as with many great talents, there was a catch. Luca was greedy. He knew his work was good, and he let that knowledge inflate his prices to the sky. Whenever a neighbor would approach him, perhaps wanting a painting of their beloved pet or a family portrait, Luca would name a price that made their eyes water. "My paintings are the best in the land," he would boast with a flick of his wrist. "And the best deserves the most money." He saw his art not as a gift to share, but as a vault to fill. His studio, once a place of creation and wonder, began to feel more like a cold, silent bank. One sunny afternoon, a frail old woman, her face etched with the lines of a long and humble life, made her way to Luca's studio. Her steps were slow, and she held a small, worn pouch in her hands. She looked up at the young painter, her eyes filled with a gentle plea. "Please, Master Luca," she said softly, her voice barely a whisper, "could you paint a picture of my late husband? It would mean the world to me. I'm afraid I only have these few coins." Luca glanced down at the meager pouch and let out a short, sharp laugh. "A few coins," he scoffed, not even trying to hide his disdain. "My dear woman, that can't buy you a single one of my brush strokes. Come back when you have real money." He turned his back on her, dismissing her as if she were a fly buzzing in his studio. The old woman simply nodded, a deep sadness in her eyes, and quietly walked away, leaving Luca to his precious paints and his empty heart. That very night, something strange happened. As Luca slept, he was pulled into a vivid dream. In the dream, he stood in his studio, but it was bathed in a soft, ethereal light. The same old woman from earlier was there, but she was different. She glowed with a gentle radiance, and in her hands she held a shining, ornate mirror. She looked at Luca, not with anger, but with a profound sense of wisdom. "Luca," her voice echoed in the dream, "your talent is a gift. Paint with kindness, not with greed. Remember this, what you give with an open heart will always come back to you." The next morning, Luca woke with a jolt. The dream felt incredibly real. He stumbled out of bed and walked over to his easel, ready to start a new commission. He picked up his brush, dipped it into a pot of brilliant crimson red. But when he touched it to the canvas, the color that appeared was a dull, lifeless gray. He tried again with a vibrant blue, and then a sunny yellow gray. All of his paints, every single tube and pot, had turned to a miserable, washed-out gray. A wave of terror washed over him. He couldn't create beauty anymore. The woman's words from his dream rang in his ears, "What you give will come back to you." He had given nothing, and now he had nothing. In a panic, Luca realized what he had to do. He didn't even stop to change his clothes. He ran through the town streets, his heart pounding in his chest, until he found the old woman's tiny cottage. He knocked on the door, and when she opened it, he fell to his knees. "Please," he begged, "forgive me. Allow me to paint your husband's portrait. It would be my honor, and I ask for no payment at all." The woman looked at him, and a small, knowing smile touched her lips. She led him inside and described her husband, his kind eyes, his warm smile, the way his hair used to catch the light. Luca set up his canvas and began to paint. But this time it was different. He wasn't thinking about gold coins or fame. He poured all his focus, all his care, and all his heart into every single stroke. He painted with reverence, with gentleness, with love. And as he placed the final, delicate brushstroke on the canvas, a miracle happened. He glanced at his palette, and a gasp escaped his lips. The dull greys had vanished. In their place were the most brilliant, vibrant, and dazzling colours he had ever seen. They seemed to glow with an inner light. The old woman looked at the finished portrait, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. Then she turned to Luca and smiled. "Now," she said, "your gift truly shines, because it comes from a clean and kind heart." From that day forward, Luca was a changed man. He still painted, but not for money. He painted to bring joy, to capture memories, and to share happiness. And soon, the people of the town admired him more than ever, not just for the beauty of his art, but for the beauty of his heart. The moral of our story is that true beauty, true success, comes not from greed, but from kindness. Giving freely is the real key to receiving everything you could ever want. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. If you enjoyed it and want to hear more tales like this, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And let me know in the comments what kind of story you'd like to hear next. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.